Hello, you are listening to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. Your host, Erica Saccoccio, invites you to join her community of passionate and inspiring leaders in the ECE field, where she discusses, reflects, and shares the best ways to invest in our children, families, teachers, and community. Because after all, we know they are the heartbeat of any successful program.
Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so excited. We are kicking in full gear on 30 days of content to support your back to school season. Today, we are going to talk about a script to success, crafting a parent orientation that shines. Yesterday, we had an episode on how to put together a successful parent orientation. And one of those tips was putting together a opening speech. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. If you are just tuning in for the first time, you are tuned in to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. I'm your host, Erica Saccoccio. And, if you've ever felt like your parent orientation speech was a little not that great, not quite that wow, then, this episode's for you. And if you've never done an orientation speech, then this episode is definitely for you. I know public speaking is something that some people just really get nervous about. And so we'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of it, but I'd like to say if you're somebody who doesn't really love public speaking, and I have a few directors who hate it, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to do more of it, to be quite honest. But if you're somebody who doesn't really love it, having something that's well thought out will help you feel more confident. One thing that I really love, I think, is jokes are a great way to kind of break the ice. And my director, Miss Angela, that I talk about on the show quite frequently, she has this really funny joke calendar. It's kind of like dad jokes sitting on the desk. And sometimes the jokes are so funny that I will call other locations and I'll call up and I will lead right with the joke. And it usually is a great way to brighten people's day, but it gets people engaged, makes them laugh, and it kind of releases some of that tension. So I'm going to share one with you today before we hop into the content. So why did the Scarecrow become a successful speaker? I'll give you a minute. Did you figure it out? It's because he was outstanding in his field. So let's make sure that you're outstanding when presenting your orientation script. So let's kick it off with a bang. First, you need to craft an unforgettable opening line. So start with a dynamic and welcoming introduction. You can use a story or a quote to create a warm and inviting atmosphere. For example, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, to symbolize the exciting new chapter for both children and parents. And you might want to get the quote exactly right, because I just didn't. So the quote exactly is, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. So that would be my first tip, is don't mess up like I did. But if you do, just laugh it off. Second is you want to think about what are the steps. So develop a few engaging opening lines and test them out on your colleagues. Choose one that aligns with your center's values and sets an enthusiastic tone. Practice delivering it with energy and confidence. And I know that's really easier said than done, but I promise you, the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll get with it. If you have to, just think about it as when you're talking to the kids and you're doing story time, right? You're usually interactive. You've got the voices, your arms are moving around, or at least if you're good at it, you're drawing people in. And so that's the point. You want to draw people into what it is that you are saying. So that's how you kind of set that tone, and prepare people for what they're about to listen to. You want to make sure that you have all the essential components that you should have in a script. So it should have a welcoming message, and then you want to kick that off with the warm introduction. You want to have introductions where you present the team in their roles. You want to give a program overview and explain what parents can expect from your program. You want to review any essential policies and outline important rules and regulations. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you include what parents need to prepare or bring. So create yourself a checklist of these components and draft each section clearly and thoroughly. For example, you might want to include brief bios of staff members, emphasizing their roles and qualifications to build trust. Now, like anything else, you want to make sure that you create engaging content that keeps your parents hooked. You want to maintain their interest and use a mix of storytelling with informative content. You can use anecdotes. You can do interactive elements to make your points resonate. For instance, you can share a heartwarming success story to highlight the impact of your program. Even more, maybe you can even invite a former family or former child that was part of your program, and they can come talk about the successes that they've had since leaving your program or the impact that your program has had on their lives. But that's one way to do it. You want to make sure the steps are that you're integrating interactive segments and engaging visuals into your script. So when you're preparing either slides or handouts that complement your stories, and plan interactive moments for parents to share their own thoughts and questions, because no one wants to sit through a boring lecture. Now, tips for balancing information and interaction. It can't be all fun and games, although I wish it could. You want to balance delivering of your crucial information with engage in interaction. So it's a balance. You want to schedule breaks for Q&A or group discussions to keep parents involved. For an example, after discussing the daily schedule, have a group discussion on how to best support their child's adjustment to that schedule. Outline your script to include designated times for interaction. Use transitions like, now that we've covered the basics, let's open the floor for your questions. Practice these transitions to ensure that you have a smooth flow. And, do this with your staff. Read it to your staff because you're going to be comfortable with them because you're used to presenting staff meetings to them anyway. So this is just another way for you to get more comfortable with the material before you have to talk to a larger group, or maybe, parents make you nervous. It's a variety of things. Everyone is a little bit different, and I just want to be here to help and support you. So if any of these things are, or any of these areas are places that you struggle, take it with stride and just continue to practice. Now, the art of handling Q&A sessions like a pro. A successful Q&A session requires preparation and structure. Anticipate common questions and prepare clear, concise answers. Implement a system for managing questions, such as using a microphone for larger groups or a question box for written inquiries. You want to develop a FAQ section based on previous orientations or common concerns, and train your team on how to handle the questions efficiently, effectively, and, of course, professionally. For example, if a question about emergency procedures arise, prepare a concise and reassuring response, because everybody wants to make sure that their child is safe, including you. And then you want to wrap up with the call to action that resonates. Include your orientation with a strong call to action that encourages ongoing engagement. Invite parents to join your parent portal, attend upcoming meetings, or get involved in community groups. For example, don't forget to sign up for our parent portal to stay updated with the latest news or events. Or today, we'd love to have you join our parent advisory group. We're giving a free t-shirt to the first 10 people that sign up. So draft a closing statement that includes all clear calls to action. Ensure that it's memorable and easy to follow, because no one likes a lot of directions. and practice delivering your final segment confidently to leave a positive and lasting impression on your families. So I hope that gives you a little bit of confidence to go ahead and create that orientation script from blah to brilliant. I have one ask for you. It's my call to action. So subscribe now for more insider tips and strategies. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to support the show. To get the best childcare insights, share this episode with your peers and let's elevate the entire team's game on how to be the best early childhood providers that we can be. As always, it's the small details that make a big impact on the success of your childcare business. Have a great day.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.